This video will give you an overview of the 20-mark Evaluate questions that you'll find on the EDEXCEL International A-Level Business papers. There'll be tips letting you know what the examiners are looking for, and I will show you an Exemplar 20-mark question and answer. You'll find one 20-mark question on the Unit 1 paper, one on the Unit 2 paper. However, on Unit 3 and 4, there will be two 20 markers. So it's really important that you have a good understanding of how to structure 20 markers and to know tips on what examiners are looking for. The command word for the 20 marker is evaluate. You could be asked to evaluate the extent, evaluate which is the best option. It could be between market research methods, so evaluate whether primary market research is the best option or secondary market research. You could be asked to evaluate the impact, evaluate whether. There will be a source booklet with extracts where you will need to use this information to support your arguments. Your 20 marker needs to include knowledge, application, analysis, and evaluation. To get the highest marks, you need to show for your knowledge accurate and thorough knowledge and understanding. You should include information about business concepts rather than relying on common sense. Show the examiners your business knowledge. For application, use of relevant context is required throughout, and this can be from the extracts provided or using examples you provide yourself. But do not ignore the extracts. They are there for a reason, so do use them. Try not to copy out large sections from the extracts and just leaving it there. Examiners are looking for you to develop your points and use the extracts to support your points. Analysis. You should use well-developed and logical chains of reasoning, showing a range of cause or effects. Show the examiner the consequences, what this leads to, therefore, what this results in. For evaluation, it is important to show competing arguments. For example, arguments for or against, with developed chains of reasoning. Evaluation. It is important to show competing arguments. Introduce the competing arguments by bringing in terms such as however or on the other hand. Show the examiner that you're about to explore a competing argument. You also need to include a conclusion. To access the higher band of marks, you must have a conclusion. Now, your conclusion should not be a repetition of previous points, but you need to make a judgment. Show a detailed conclusion which does not simply repeat points, but shows your ability to weigh up competing arguments or propose a solution or a recommendation. You should have context in your conclusion as it relates to the case study. Finally, to make it an effective conclusion, you should consider showing the examiner further evaluative terms such as it depends on or most importantly. Consider what it would depend on if this option or solution was chosen, or what would be the most important factor for consideration. The structure of the 20 marker may differ. I would recommend that you separate your paragraphs, which would make it easier for you when answering the question, and also it makes it very straightforward for your examiner when marking. You could start off with your definition. Then you would have a developed argument within context. Now it might be an argument for, it really depends on what the question is. It might be that you're developing an argument for option 1. As I said, it really depends on what the question is. And then in that paragraph you would have a counter argument. So you might start that off with the word however. Second paragraph, another developed argument within context, and then a counter argument. Third paragraph, another developed argument. This time you do not need to include a counter argument. Then you have your conclusion or your recommendation, and that should also be in context. Another tip is to leave enough time to complete the 20 marker. You know it's going to be on the paper and it's worth a lot of marks, so do leave sufficient time to answer it. Do check out these other videos. The link to them will be in the description box. And if you found this video useful, please do like it and subscribe. It sends a signal to me to let me know I should produce more videos just like this. Let's take a look at an exemplar question and answer. Function, aesthetics, and cost of manufacture are elements of the design mix. Evaluate which of these is the most important element for manufacturers of smartphones. 20 marks. Let's go over to the extracts. Extract E. The first smartphone. The first smartphone was created in 1992 by IBM. It combined the functions of a mobile cell phone and a personal organizer. Functions of the smartphones are being continually developed and are used to send and receive emails, take photographs, download applications from the internet, and much more. Today, mobile phones are viewed as a necessity by many people. In 2016, around 1.5 billion smartphones were sold worldwide. Extract F. Slower growth of smartphones. The growth in sales of smartphones decreased in 2016, and Apple saw the sale of its iPhones fall for the first time since their launch in 2007. One reason is that the market is saturated with many people already owning a smartphone, and the quality is so good that users do not need to change phones as often. Samsung, a South Korean company, continues to lead the market despite having to suspend sales of its Galaxy Note 7 range after reports that the phones were exploding and catching fire while in the hands of users. One reason for Samsung's success is because it offers a wide choice of smartphones with differing functionality at different prices. Smartphone businesses Huawei, Oppo, and Vivo all increased their market share in 2016. They have lower costs of manufacture and sell smartphones for less than $250, which is significantly cheaper than the price of Samsung or Apple smartphones. Extract G, Global Smartphone Market Share, 2016. So do have a look at that pie chart as well. And, where relevant, you might be able to use some of the figures within the answer. You can pause the video if you'd like and attempt the question. Let's take a look at a possible answer. The design mix is the combination of design elements that are used to create a product or service. The design mix includes three elements: function, aesthetics, and cost of manufacture. Function relates to the quality and reliability of a product. The function of a product refers to the specific tasks or purposes it is designed to accomplish. It is the most important element of a product's design as it ensures that the product effectively addresses the needs and requirements of the target mobile phone users. Mobile phones are seen by many people as a necessity, and therefore functions such as sending emails, using internet applications, as well as making calls are important features to users. Functions of the smartphones are being continually developed, which would improve its effectiveness and performance, and therefore increase customer loyalty. As a result, this would lead to higher customer satisfaction and enhanced brand reputation for manufacturers, which would enable them to remain competitive in the industry. However, Samsung, a smartphone manufacturer, has had issues with the function of their smartphones. They suffered a problem with the function of their Galaxy Note 7 phones, which were reported to catch fire in the hand of users. This is obviously a major concern to Samsung and could impact customer loyalty. Aesthetics pertains to the visual and sensory aspects of a product, including its form, shape, color, texture, and overall appearance. Aesthetics is important because the look of the phone is a main selling point to some consumers. A phone with a sleek, modern design can convey quality, innovation, and status, making it more visually appealing to customers. As a result, this would lead to a stronger emotional connection with the phone, as consumers will want their mobile phone to be easily recognizable and a status symbol. This would lead to increased sales, which would enable manufacturers of smartphones like Apple to charge premium prices for their mobile phones. On the other hand, aesthetics is not the most important factor because consumers would prioritize the functionality and performance of a phone above its appearance. Features such as battery life, processing speed, camera quality, and software usability are crucial in determining how well the phone meets their needs. If a phone looks great but fails to perform efficiently or has poor functionality, consumers are likely to be dissatisfied and may not keep the smartphone for long, regardless of its aesthetic appeal. The cost of manufacture is an important consideration when designing a product, as it directly impacts the final price at which the product can be sold. Manufacturers must find a balance between production costs and the perceived value of the smartphone to ensure it is competitively priced while still providing adequate profit margins. Oppo and Vivo have increased market share by selling phones at $250 due to lower manufacturing costs. It is important that the market leaders Samsung and Apple are able to maintain their market share of 20.7% and 13.7% respectively, which may mean reducing cost of manufacture. Lower production costs allow manufacturers to remain financially stable and continue investing in research and development, improving technology, and staying innovative. If costs are too high, it could lead to financial instability, reduced investment in future phone models, and an inability to adapt to changing consumer demands. Overall, all elements of the design mix are important and must complement each other in the design process. However, as some businesses in the industry are introducing a cheaper range of phones, this may indicate manufacturing costs are the most important in order to reduce prices to consumers. Therefore, the cost of manufacture for some ranges of phones is important to keep prices low and meet customer expectations. Most importantly, smartphone manufacturers must ensure that an emphasis on the cost of production does not impact on the quality of the smartphones, leading to issues similar to those experienced by Samsung with their Galaxy Note 7 products. Thank you for watching this video. The next two videos that will appear on the screen are what YouTube thinks you should watch next.